Georges River and Campbelltown round to Parramatta, life is getting tougher with harsher restrictions. A large-scale police operation is underway and officers have significant new powers to even shut down businesses. It's been a difficult day for all of us, with the ATF now called in. Ursula Hager begins our coverage.
Macquarie Mall in Liverpool, normally a bustling, busy place filled with shoppers, today packed with police, and it's only a taste of what's to come.
It only takes a handful of people or a very small percentage to do the wrong thing to cause a setback for all of us, and we can't afford setbacks.
New police powers have now been granted. Thousands will be deployed to shut down businesses, construction and public premises where anyone is caught breaking the rules. And now 300 military personnel will be brought in to assist.
It will take it to those businesses that are breaching the health orders, and it will take it back to the homes that are continuing to breach the health orders that are putting us into an extended lockdown.
Assume that every time you leave your home,
you ride to jail.
You exercise,
jail.
Carpool,
jail.
Browsing,
also jail.
And if I leave the house to go shopping,
believe it or not, jail, right away.
Leave your home,
right to jail, right away.
The basic message is
they put you in jail, right away. No trial, no.
Would you consider ankle bracelets for people in self-isolation?
Yes.
Boom shakalaka, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy Chris Shule, aka the Esoteric Noetic, aka the Chocolate Nubian Soul Brother from Ghana, West Africa, dropping the wisdomatic truth bombs here in Melbourne, Australia, mate. Home of the New World Order, mate. Home of complete and utter insanity right now. But of course, I'm in line with it because I realise it is for the greater good. And, you know, we're all in this together, and we all got to lie. Stay together by staying apart. All got to play our part. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, click on the bell, tell your friends, tell your mom, drop some comments, let us know what it is. How far we have come from we're all in this together to no jab, no pay. I want everyone to get boom shakalaka. Or you're endangering people's lives. Or you shouldn't be allowed out if you haven't gotten the boom shakalaka. We actually have politicians calling for this kind of stuff. Oh, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I've been making these videos for a long time, specifically making videos about everything that's going on in relation to the New World Order, mate, and this agenda. And I've always been trying to present myself with a bit of hilarity. I want you guys to enjoy this video. I want you to think, but I also want you to have a Coke and a smile and laugh. You know, I have many faces. There's this Japanese saying that you have 3 faces. You know, a face that you show to your friends, your family, strangers as well, you know? And I'm guessing a lot of you people think I'm even somewhat duplicitous because I have all these different faces. It's like sometimes Chris Shule is silly, and then sometimes Chris Shule is being very serious, you know? But the face that I'm going to show you right now is my real face in these times. And that is the face of unambiguated, unassailable truth in regards to what is going on. Because we are amidst a war right now. It's not a case of we're all in this together. We are in a situation where there is utter, diametrically opposed factions. I mean, I came across a post, someone relaying what is going on in France. I have an auntie in France, and the last thing I want to see is her have to deal with the shit that is going on. I mean, she's been through enough already. She lost her brother, my father, last year on her birthday, and the last thing I want to see her undergo is a situation where she is essentially coerced into taking something that she doesn't want to take. And we're not even going to get into any of the science in regards to that. I think you guys are pretty clued on in regards to why she may not want to go ahead with that. But look, I want to read out something to you. This is something I came across. And I'm going to address this in a very stern, honest manner. No silliness, guys. So, yeah, brace yourselves. Brace yourselves for what's about to unfold, guys, because I've stopped pulling my punches. Now, the letter goes on to say, or the post rather, this is from an anonymous person. Here in France, it has gone to the extreme with the health pass. Last week on the 21st, all restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and any leisure activities like sporting events, theaters, cinemas, museums were closed to anyone without the pass, and all staff at these places are mandated to get the jab to keep their job. It is now a 6-month prison sentence if you were caught inside any of these places without the pass. The man who slapped the president in the face got only 3 months prison time. Oh, apparently someone slapped, I'm assuming, Macron in the face. Of course, I don't want to incite any violence, but my heart is smiling. Business owners will get a fine of 45,000 euros and 1 year prison sentence if they do not comply with the use of the pass and force all their employees to get the jab. If you know France, you can commit murder and have less of a sentence. So the result, all the low-paid employees quit. They can make more on welfare here for now. We can still technically get takeout food, but I just tried last night, and every restaurant in our town that is dine in with takeout has closed their doors due to the lack of staff. As of last week, all doctors, nurses, and health industry workers have been mandated to get the jab or lose their license, practice, job, business, etc. All healthcare here is government-paid positions, and there are no private health care doctors or hospitals, etc. Since the healthcare system is state-run and funded, it has been run into the ground. All the good doctors left France 5 years ago. All the hospitals look like they are third-world hospitals since there is no money to repair them. Half of the equipment doesn't work, and not every hospital is stocked with supplies needed for daily needs, masks, gels, disposable gowns, etc. For 5 years, nurses have been understaffed and doing double the work because the healthcare system is nearly bankrupt. So add this to the mandatory jab. So the result? Well, they took to the streets by the millions, and now all the hospitals just lost another 50% of staff capacity. My doctor just went into early retirement, aka he quit, and I have yet to find a replacement. As of August 1st, all large malls, retail stores, and grocery store owners and their staff need to be jabbed, and the health pass is required to enter for employees and customers. This would be the equivalent to closing all Targets, Walmarts, Costco's, Home Depots, and all major grocery stores, basically any building over 20,000 square meters, to those without the pass. The result, August 15, truckers will be going on strike nationwide, blocking all access roads in and out of Paris. Yesterday, an entire airport in northern France closed due to the majority of staff quitting. As of September 15, all public areas and access will be off limits. No farmers markets, no parks, no national parks, lakes, rivers, beaches, recreation areas, campsites, etc. No gathering over 100 people, no churches, no weddings, etc. As of October 1st, all small vendors such as delis, pizza trucks, sandwich shops, butchers, bakers, vegetable stands, etc. So as of October 1st, I will only be able to purchase food by internet and pick up, if allowed. Food shortages, truckers strike, hospitals and airports strutting down, unemployment going through the roof. It's going to be a bumpy ride, folks. Is it me? Or does all this seem a bit extreme for a pass that isn't exactly working? America, Canada, England, Australia, New Zealand, you'd better wake up. Let that be a warning to these other countries of what is to come. Now, granted, there may be some momos out there that are saying, well, this is necessary. It's necessary because you guys are endangering lives. You guys are killing innocent people by not getting the boom shakalaka. This is the kind of ossificated thinking that people propose. People that cannot delineate between actual violence. Or at least some of them can. Some of them are just being disingenuous on purpose. And this is what people do. They always try to justify their immoral behavior. And I'm going to be very clear about this. What we are seeing here is unequivocally, unassailably immoral. There are some people that call this stuff politics and don't want to talk about it. Some people that say, oh, this is just a distinction of opinion. You have different ethics. No. Unequivocally, it has always been the case throughout history. Those that are advocating for control, for censorship, for violence, the initiation of force, in the interest of safety, in the interest of achieving goal strategies, these have always been the douchebags, the evil people. Whether it was the ancient Romans wanting to enslave the plebs, wanting to enslave anyone that was not bowing down to Caesar. Whether it was the southern plantation owners that believed it was their right to have slaves, because by not having slaves, the economy was going to be ruined. All of these arguments are predicated on fear. What might happen to me? Oh, you are potentially endangering people's lives. And I'm not even going to get into the science of this for obvious reasons. But make no mistake about it. If you were advocating for this kind of stuff, history will remember you. And I'm not one of these people that says things that I wouldn't back up. I wouldn't have the courage to say face to face. I want every single person that knows me to understand that if you advocate for this kind of stuff, not only do I not respect you, whether you are my brother, my friend, my mother, my father. Of course, my father's no longer here with us. But it matters not. Whereas I have love for you in my heart. We are philosophically at war if you are advocating for this kind of stuff. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. There is a battle going on right now that has been going on for a long time. And I'm going to get a little metaphysical on this, guys. This is a spiritual war, make no mistake about it. We are dealing with factions that are fundamentally trying to take away your freedom, your light, your sovereignty, in order to bring about their own ideas, their agendas, the greater good, this kind of argument. And a lot of people always want to obfuscate this matter, say that it's not about politics. Or rather they say that, this is a political, you're making this a political issue. I'm making this a moral issue because fundamentally it always comes down to moral. All politics can come down to whether or not you want to use force or whether or not you want to allow people to make decisions for themselves. And we are seeing a group of people use these lame arguments that, oh, look, I don't want to talk about politics, or it's just your opinion, or look, let's not talk about this, in order to misdirect you from the fact that they are immoral douchebags. We seriously need to start calling out these people for what they are. They are people that have no objective morals. They're people that deal in strategies. I'm so frustrated by the people that identify as Christians or spiritual people that advocate for this kind of stuff. The very idea of Christianity, Christ, someone that came here and was all against the government, fundamentally believed that the kingdom of heaven was within, but fundamentally was not in favor of the state trying to force its will on people. The fundamental tenets we find within Christianity deal with non-aggression, the golden rule. But for some reason we have this situation where people are willing to violate people because they have the government doing it on their behalf, advocate for violence, all because they want to keep people safe. That have this idea that somehow it's altruistic to force people to sacrifice themselves. Look, man, it's altruistic if you want to sacrifice yourself. By all means, do so. This is not about what you want to put in your body. You can put whatever you want in your body, guys. But if you want to force me to put something in my body, I don't care if it is the safest, most amazing thing in the world. You're not going to make me do it. And you sure as hell are not going to make my friends or anyone that doesn't want to do it, do it. This is not about hesitancy. A lot of people say, oh, look, I am boom shakalaka hesitant. I have never been hesitant about any of this stuff. From day one, I have always maintained that people can get this thing if they want. People don't have to get it if they want. Granted, I've changed in regards to my understanding of what is going on. Initially thought things were severe, then realized they weren't severe, and I'm still in different minds in regards to the legitimacy of what is actually going on without going into detail, but it doesn't matter. I don't care, because fundamentally, to me, this is not about the science. This comes down to human rights. This comes down to your sovereignty. This comes down to factions that are essentially trying to enforce their will on you and that are making these completely ridiculous arguments that it's for the greater good. And those that believe in choice, those that actually want to honor the letter of the law. Anyway, I just want to briefly cover an article that I came across that is essentially talking about what we're going to be implementing here in Australia. No jab, no job. It's amazing how far we've come, right? And still we have politicians, people saying, oh, look, no one's forcing this stuff on you. So here we have 2021 Australia, mate. It's happening. No jab, no job program introduced in Sydney. This was going to be forcing workers to get boom shakalaka if they want to make a living. Australians are outraged once again after the government of New South Wales increased the severity of boom shakalaka restrictions by implementing a strict no jab, no job policy. Now, we could smell this was coming. Obviously, ScoMo was behind the no jab, no pay policy and had spoken quite openly about how he was going to be pushing to do everything he could to make this as mandatory as possible, but then also saying, oh, look, we're not going to force this on you. You have a choice. Kind of double speech that these politicians are known for saying. So no jab, no job policy that is set to begin on Friday in Sydney and the surrounding areas. In the outright assault on individual freedoms, which is being billed as a decision for the greater good, this is where it's always masked as. All that means, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is I have no morals. I'm all for us working together collectively. But if you force this stuff on people, if you initiate violence, if you do the wrong things in order to bring about the greater good, I don't care if the majority of people have that mindset. I am no stranger to being a black sheep. My entire life has been about being a black sheep. I don't care if I am the only individual left on this planet that doesn't, that is in favor of freedom. The truth remains the truth regardless of how many people support it. And it is unequivocally immoral for people to be sacrificing your freedom, your individual rights to choose how you want to govern your life because they're trying to achieve goals, strategies. They're trying to assert this ridiculous notion that the tangible reality that they are aggressing against you, taking away your right to life, forcing you, locking you in your homes. This is something that can be measured. This is actual. Is somehow not relevant when it comes to meeting the intangible goals of trying to arrive at the greater good, which is something that cannot be attained. It's intangible. The greater good for who? You, your friend, your family? Who gets to decide what the greater good is? There are millions of people that are suffering around the world, having lost their businesses, people that are dying because they've been suicided or they have committed suicide because of these impositions on their freedom. Is that the greater good that you want? So here we are. I am through pulling my punches. I'm going to say quite plainly that if you are supporting this kind of stuff, now, by all means, if you want to get whatever it is that you want to get in your system, you have every right to do so. But if you were inciting that the government lock people in their homes, if you were inciting that people be forced to take this kind of stuff, this is not about politics. This is about morality. You are a piece of shit. You can take that to the bank. I do not respect you, whereas I may love you, and whereas I may even believe that you have compassion within your hearts. Unfortunately, compassion is not enough. If your actions are such that you are willing to perform violence on people, you are willing to initiate harm because you are concerned for yourself or others, welcome to the world of every douchebag that has ever lived. Whether they were disingenuous, they've always used this argument. They care so much about the world and people that they're willing to enslave the few for the many, willing to do wrong in order to bring about good. And this is what we are seeing implemented within the legal system at the moment. this obfuscation of the law, where slowly and slowly we're having our freedoms encroached upon. And people always want to make it as if it's a game of freedom versus safety, when it actually is a game of people advocating for violence versus people that are advocating for choice. It is as simple as that. And if you deny that, you are denying the truth. You are somehow moving away from the objective reality that you are advocating for violence on people because you were scared. And that is fundamentally what it comes down to. Ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, I want to remind you right now that we are spending billions of dollars on these lockdowns. Or at least we have lost billions of dollars, rather, because of these lockdowns, people not being able to work. In Australia, the cost of lockdowns is apparently 17 billion and counting. The pandemic lockdowns of the last 9 weeks have already dealt 17 billion hit, a $17 billion hit to the economy, and Australians are becoming increasingly reliant on government support. Of course, this is great for cryptocurrencies. You're going to see this reflected in the surge of the value of cryptocurrencies, but this is not sustainable, and this is going to lead to more and more problems. More importantly, this is going to lead to a situation where people are going to be on the streets, very, very angry. It's going to mark a lot of uprising, and no one wants to see that. People have forgotten what happened in the Second World War. And when I say people have forgotten, I know people know the facts, but people really haven't taken time to understand why it happened. Understand what led to the situation. It always comes down to people advocating for force, people advocating for force because of safety. It's for your safety. And this experiment, the Western civilization that initially believed in the concept of freedom and was able to thrive because of it, has had so many people forget what led to its success and are now trying to bring about a system where we are taking the values that have led to the thriving of these civilizations, freedom, all being sacrificed now because people have lost their balls. People have given into the tyranny, and people do not know what it means to actually value truth and liberty. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to share this video. Tell your mom, tell your friends, get the message out there. And be sure to check us out on Telegram. As I often mention, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, so by all means, check out my other avenues. And if you want to continue seeing me share more of these videos, I invite you to check the links below. You can support us through many of different ways. Buy us a coffee, send us some cryptocurrencies, yo. And remember that there are more and more people waking up every day, that you cannot extinguish the light of truth, not for long. The three things that cannot remain hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the wisdomatic truth bombs of the Chocolate Nubian Soul Brothers. Signing out. Until next time, Surya Namaskara, Namaste. Ow!
What is liberty?
What the? Who says you can't build muscle on a vegan diet?
What's it like being a hottie in the vegan community?
There are no political solutions, only technological ones.
The economics of the system don't allow multiple competing systems to survive.
Engineering, technology, these arts of humanity, they are magic.